morning. I have no idea what it's like outside. I understand it's quite windy.
It really is. It might blow you away. You might need to put some rocks in your pocket.
I was going to get some rocks. So you were in a little bit later than what you normally are because you had a busy day.
I did. I had 2 closings. It's nice. I had someone from Texas buy a little farmette over by Erie, Illinois, and so he's looking forward to moving over here from Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
So.
And is that your old stomping grounds? Oh.
That is. I went to school in Erie. I graduated in '84. Yeah, that's my old. And actually, the house I sold, it's kind of like a barn dominium, is actually, it was a dear friend of mine who passed away, and it was his granddaughter that inherited it. And I sold it, and it just brought back a lot of good memories. Cliff and I had done some work over there for him and things like that, and he was a very dear friend.
So you called it a barnuminium?
Yeah, so it has like a little apartment in it, but it was so cool because it had like a 3-car garage, a shop, and then a shop outside, and it was 10 acres. And this man, when he was alive, because he became ill and then couldn't take care of it as well, but when he was alive, it was immaculate. And it was just a beautiful place. And the gentleman who bought it loves it because it's kind of surrounded by trees, so it's kind of private.
Okay.
And he is so excited to move in here and seeing what he can do.
So timber, obviously.
Well, it's 10 acres total, and about 8 acres were farm ground.
Okay.
But the little place sits in the middle. So when I had it droned, and he saw the pictures on the drone, he's like, it's like its own little area because it's private. Yeah. It's got a cute little lane going up to it, So yeah, he bought it, and I was able to help the seller also, so that she could be done with it. So.
What's he going to do with the other 8 acres?
Well, right now there's a farmer who has it this year.
Okay.
And after that, they'll decide. They thought about maybe starting a little farm or something, but they weren't sure. So they have it's like the sky's the limit for them,
Okay. So is he from around this area originally, or a native of
No.
Texas? And what brings him to Erie, Illinois?
They're in Texas, renting an apartment. He saw it on the internet, saw all the pictures, because I love to drone my properties, especially my country properties, because then people can really see it, And he saw it, and he goes, Jill, I really like that place. So we did a video tour. And it was amazing, and they're moving here to Illinois. They just want a new start.
Are retired?
No, actually, he works.
Okay.
He works on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's an internet worker, and his girlfriend's coming here, and she'll change her job and find something. And so I was like, welcome to Illinois.
So you drone things.
So I have there's a professional photographer, Highland Visual, out of the Quad Cities. And when I have properties, I even had one that had an acre, but it was in the country, farmland. In the country, 1 acre. And so I had that droned. And when you drone a property, her and her husband work together. Matter of fact, he quit his carpet cleaning job because she got so busy. And so when you drone it, you can see the whole aspect of the property. They do all my inside pictures, and then they drone it. And the gentleman from Texas that bought it, he said, because of the pictures, I could see what it was like. So you can see all the area. She drones it out enough that you can see all the countryside around it and things like that. And I love droning the properties because it's a big seller.
Yeah, how long have you been doing that? You didn't talk about this last year.
No, I didn't, but I've been doing it for probably 4 or 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
And she goes all the way up. She went up to Lanark. She drones. She is my girl for droning and taking all my pictures on my big properties like that.
That is great. Of course, you're going to be at our Plus 50 Living Fair on April 22nd. You're going to bring the drone with you? You're going to drone the Vista Grande?
So no, I don't do the droning. My photographer does.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I couldn't handle that. She does my droning and my professional pictures. So.
You've got people for that.
I got people.
Jill Sorrell, Mel Foster, realtor. Why choose a realtor when you sell your home?
Well, you know what? Like with this droning, we know how to market your home the best. We're expertise in what we do, your market analysis and where to price it at. We know what the market's doing. When we do a market analysis, we don't just look, oh, there's a house there, it sold for that much. There's a house there that sold for that much. If we can see the pictures on the inside, then we can compare the properties and what they sold for or what they're on the market for. So we have a lot of expertise in that, in negotiations, and there's a lot of paperwork. And I had one gentleman one time that was trying to sell his property on his own, and I just reached out to him, said, if you need some help, let me know. He called me, he's like, I can't do this. He goes, there's so many looky-loos out there. They're not serious. They haven't even been to the bank. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. So we can kind of, it's not that you can't look at a house if you haven't been to the bank, but we can kind of get through that for people, and we'll be the ones showing the property, or we'll set up the appointments and things such as that. So there's a lot that real estate agents do. We save you time, we save you stress because selling is a stress, and we can take a lot of that stress off because we'll handle that for you. And so it works out really good. They say that houses sell faster when you list with a real estate agent, and I think they do because we have a wide variety of marketing. With Mel Foster, we're on like 35 websites, so it's going to go everywhere. And plus, we're with the global relocation. And so one time I had a gentleman in Germany buy a house here in Clinton, and I said, "Why are you buying a house in Clinton?" And he was like a private contractor, and he's like, "Well, I like the Mississippi River." And I'm like, "Oh, you do?" "Yeah, so it looks really pretty there." I said, "Well, it is really pretty here." And so he signed on the house, he did the home inspection, and Cliff and I then walked him through maybe some repairs. They did the repairs. His wife saw it 2 weeks before closing. He saw it day of closing, and they are still there to this day. And I think they bought around 2018.
Do they have a view of the river?
They do not. They do not have a view of the river, but he didn't care because he likes to kayak and different things like that.
Okay.
So he just likes that he has that accessibility. Okay. And I find that a lot of people say, "Oh, Clinton, why would you move to Clinton?" And I'm like, appreciate what we have. When I traveled, because I've lived all over the world, people would say, I would say I lived by the Mississippi because that's where I grew up at. And they're like, "You live by the Mississippi?" Oh, they're fascinated with the Mississippi River. So we have to appreciate what we have. We have a lot of beauty in our area and a lot of things to do.
I think I've already brought this up today, but when I was doing the professional baseball games down on the riverfront, and of course the players would be coming in from California or Florida, whatever, and their parents would come in to watch them play. And the first thing they wanted to see was the Mississippi River.
Yes. We don't realize how kind of infamous that river is.
Yeah.
And the beauty that we have.
And and you go over other rivers and you think, that's not a river.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a river.
When I go over like the Illinois River in Peoria, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's the Illinois River. But when you go over the Mississippi, there's so much to it. And we have the widest point.
Yes, that's
which
right.
is really nice, and that's what I like to point out to people is we have the widest point and they can go up and they can look across the widest point.
That is incredible. So they've chose a realtor, and talk about showing a house. What are some of the tips about showing a house?
You mean like to get your house ready to show?
Or you,
Okay.
and when you're showing it yourself.
Yeah. When I'm showing a house, I like to make sure that they have the multiple listing sheet. And I like to make sure that they have the disclosures, because they may ask me a question, does a basement leak? I don't know. So the disclosure will tell you yes or no if they've had issues in the past. If they still have issues, usually there's an explanation as to if it's been fixed or not. So a lot of questions for a buyer can be dispelled by having that seller disclosure there. And then I always tell them, if you got any questions, I'll write them down and I'll get you the best answers that I can. Sometimes it's nice to point out, sometimes people can envision, it's like, oh my goodness, the kitchen's kind of outdated. And I'm like, the cheapest way to update a kitchen is a countertop, a sink, and a backsplash. Or they'll be like, I don't like this room. This room isn't, well, then you can kind of say, well, do you need an office? This one's smaller. Would you like an office? That would work for an office. Or I need another bedroom. Oh, really? Well, here's this room that they have as an office. You could use it as a bedroom. So sometimes you just got to help people with how they think and how they envision it.
Yeah. And you've been doing this how long now?
12 years.
And when did you really start to get into a comfort zone?
Probably took me about 2 years.
Okay.
To really get in a comfort zone. One thing I appreciate about Mel Foster is we are so well educated. There's been a lot of changes in the real estate industry. And they have been giving us classes and everything for, a year before it. Then when it all came down, they had us implementing everything 3 months before it actually went into law and when we were actually had to do it. So I really appreciated that because by the time like our exclusive buyers agreement, when we had to do it, we were already doing it. So we were more comfortable with it instead of, oh my goodness, here's the date, we just got to do it. We were already doing it, and I appreciate that.
Continuing education, very important.
Exactly. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Well, coming up will be a check of the weather, then more with Jill Sorrell. Circle Bar Home Appliances in downtown Clinton invite you to march in for St. Patrick's Day specials during the month on their great selection of appliances. With Circle Bars, you will select from name brands you know and trust like Amana, Bosch, Frigidaire, KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, and LG TVs. You can further count on service after the sale with their trained professionals. Selection, service, and St. Patrick's Day savings all at Circle Bar Home Appliances, 225 Fifth Avenue South, Clinton. And you can always visit circlebars.com.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Midas.
A weather impact alert is in place for your Friday, especially as we get into the afternoon, where we're expecting strong winds, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Mostly sunny skies will push temperatures into the low 60s this afternoon. Those temperatures will drop into the mid-20s tonight as gusty winds continue. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have sunny skies and a temperature of 52 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 30 miles per hour. The forecast report on KROS has been brought to you by Midas.
The locally owned and operated Clinton Midas, proud to have served you for 48 years. And they ask, are the potholes getting the best of you and your vehicle? Don't fret. The Clinton Midas to the rescue with alignment and suspension repair. Also be sure to see the Clinton Midas for tires, batteries, brakes, and general maintenance on your vehicle. Come to the Clinton Midas, 1432 Lincoln Way. You can trust the Clinton Midas with the Golden Guarantee.
It just makes sense. Today, more and more people are choosing to plan their funerals in advance. We found our families think it makes sense for 3 basic reasons. You can relieve an emotional burden from those you love, you can express your own wishes, and you can relieve the financial burden from those you love as well. This is Mary Rupp. For more pre-planning information, contact me at the Snell's-Ording Funeral Homes and Crematory in Clinton. I can help.
Jill Sorrell in to wrap things up on our Ladies' Day. Thanks for coming in. So how important is it to have your financing ready?
You know, when we're looking for a house, when people are looking for a house, they'll look through a lot of times several. You know, you don't want to a lot of times just go with the first one. You want to check out a lot of different houses. And when they find that house, they want to be ready to buy because you're not the only buyer out there and you're not the only one looking at those houses. And especially if a house comes on new to the market and you're like, this is my house, there's probably 5 to 10 other people that might like that same house. So having your financing ready, having that pre-approval letter in your hand can be the difference of you getting that house or not.
So do you need to see your banker? How do you do this?
You know what? You can see your banker. There are mortgage companies out there. You want to shop around for who's going to have the best rate for you and who's going to have the best loan for you. There are first-time home buyer loans out there. As agents, we know what some of them are. Qualifications, we send you to the lender because they're the ones who really have the expertise on that. So yes, you can go to your bank. If you need help, we can give you numbers as to who to call and things such as that. We get nothing from who we send you to. We just know that the ones we're sending you to, we really like how they treat our clients. And there are some top-notch ones out there that I just love to work with.
I would imagine the contacts that you've made now in 12 years is kind of invaluable.
It is. It really is. And when we have ones that come to our office and tell us about their programs and that, and you know, it's kind of funny, we just had one that it was going to fall through. And we flipped it over to this other one, and she did it in 3 weeks. And we close on Monday. And everybody's shocked, and everybody loves it. You know, so now she's going to get the home of her dreams.
Okay, now you were doing a couple of closings today.
I was.
So what all is entailed in a closing, besides signing your name to a bunch of sheets?
So for a closing, to get it ready, we're all internet-based now, you know, so everything's got to be downloaded on .loop and in order and everything. So we have to make sure that all of our paperwork's ready. We have to make sure that anything we need the client to sign, at Mel Foster, we have an inspection receipt form that we go over with them saying, okay, these are the inspections you had, right? Okay, yes. They sign off on that. Making sure their paperwork's, making sure that the lawyers have closing statements and everything that they need, that they have all inspections, that they have any receipts that need to be paid by buyer or seller. And just making sure that everything's going to run smooth, because when it doesn't, it's not pleasant. So yeah, but you do. And then I always like to get my clients a gift. I am big on that kind of thing because it's fun. I remember when I bought houses and the realtor would give me a gift. It was always a fun thing. So I always think about what my client would like. What kind of things would they like? Sometimes they've said, oh, I like this kind of wine, or, oh yeah, I really like to do this. I'm going to get them something like that. So you got to listen to people. You listen to them and you kind of find out some fun things.
It's like Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life. When they move into their house, he gives them a loaf of bread, a bottle of wine, and some salt.
Yeah. So, it can be something simple, but they love it.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a song?
I sure do. Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. Hey, spring is coming, and the sun is out.
Dusting all day. But
Yes.
Jill Sorrell is here, and she's going to tell us how to get your home ready to sell.
This is an important feature when sellers are looking to sell their home. This is one of the things that we can help with, kind of tweaking things. Because sometimes sellers will say, oh, you look at something and it's kind of broke or a little taped together. Oh, that's okay. And it's like, well, maybe for you, but not for that buyer. And so it's always nice to depersonalize and declutter so that people can visualize themselves in a home. Your little tchotchkes and things like that are cute, but sometimes there's a little too many and they just need to go be packed up. I have people that say, yeah, but if I have boxes in my basement, I said, you know what I say? Look it, they're ready to move. So, it's just a positive thing that way. This time of year is really hard to enhance curb appeal because everything's dead or just wet, But doing your best, making sure all your garbage is picked up. If you still have lawn furniture out or the kids have got some toys, just kind of make sure they're a little organized or put away in the garage. You might want to update your fixtures or your features. Don't spend a lot of money on it. Also address your odors. It can be cats, can be dogs, stuff like that. Sometimes that can be hard to do. Make sure your litter box is cleaned out, or your dog food bowl is put up. Because as agents, we're going to help to prepare your paperwork and everything, and then we're going to help you to set the right price. We all want the most we can get out of our home. That is just natural. But when a buyer comes in, of course, sell high, buy low is kind of what people want. And so listen to your agent. Your agent's talking to you. They're telling you the best. Even though you may think, and your neighbors may have told you that it's worth $20,000 more, are they going to buy it? No. So listen to your real estate agent because we're the professionals. We do this all the time. This is what I do. This is my job. I am a full-time real estate agent, and that's what I do.
And you're off to a good start this year.
I am. It's been a good year. It's been a good start.
Well, that is great to hear.
Yeah.
So what excites you about selling?
What excites me about selling, I like to see people, I like the look on their face. The gentleman today had not seen his house in Erie. He had only seen it on video. He saw it for the first time today, and he was so excited. And I know the property very well, so I was telling him the different flowers and all the fruit trees and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I just can't wait. They're going to get it cleaned up, and they're going to get it together. And just to see even the kids when they're picking out their rooms. Kind of we'll do a final walkthrough, and if they have kids, the kids come, and I'm like, what room is yours?
Yeah.
And so they get to pick it out. Are you going to paint it? What are you going to do? So yeah. Just kind of initiating the conversation with them and just taking an interest. That's the whole thing.
And I would imagine the feeling is different when you sell to a young family with children and selling to a retired couple who are looking for that home after retirement.
Yes, when there's families that have raised their kids, and when they know that another family's coming in, they're so excited. Because they're like, oh, we know our memories when we had our kids, And for some that maybe are slimming down and maybe you want something flat, maybe you want a ranch or something, to see that they're actually relieved that they're not going to have to worry about some of the things they've worried about before, that this home is going to be just right for them and it was really what they needed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So what's it like for you when somebody says thank you?
It means a lot. It touches my heart. That's why I always tell them, I get them a card and tell them, thank you for allowing me to help you purchase your home, or for the privilege of helping you find your home, or for the privilege of helping you sell your home, because it is a privilege. That's somebody's investment, and that's their life. And when people tell you thank you, you know that they really appreciate it.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
People want to find out more about Jill Sorrell. How can they best do that, Jill?
Hey, they can give me a text or a call at at 815-535-1591. They can also go to jillsorrell.com, get on my website, look up houses, send me a message, whatever you want to do. You can text me, call me. I do answer on Sunday evenings. and usually Saturday evenings. So you can text me, call me, and I'll get back to you.
Jill, thank you so much. We'll see you at the Plus 50 Living Fair.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Out front, Ruggerberg. She will drive to the basket and lay it up and in. LeConte for three, and she hits it.
Central DeWitt is returning.